In the early 1990s, deep inside the high-security testing grounds of Edwards Air Force Base, two futuristic beasts were born, each built to dominate the sky, to hide from radar, and to strike before the enemy even knew it was there. One was called the YF-22, sleek and fierce, with angular edges that screamed aggression. The other was darker, smoother, and more mysterious, the YF-23 Black Widow II, nicknamed Cobra by the engineers who saw it slither silently through the clouds. What followed was one of the most secretive and dramatic air combat competitions in aviation history. And tonight, on Wings of War, we're taking you straight into that battle, the fight that decided who would rule the next generation of air supremacy. The story begins in 1981, when the United States Air Force realized that the sky of the future would no longer be ruled by raw speed alone. The Cold War was still burning, and Soviet engineers were developing aircraft that could challenge America's dominance. The Pentagon launched the Advanced Tactical Fighter Program, a call to arms for the best minds in aerospace. Two titans answered, Lockheed with its YF-22, and Northrop teamed with McDonnell Douglas to create the YF-23. The competition wasn't just about building a better fighter, it was about designing the future of air warfare itself. The YF-23 was unlike anything ever seen. Its body looked almost alien, long, diamond-shaped wings blending seamlessly into the fuselage, giving it a ghost-like presence in the air. It didn't slice through the sky like the F-15, it seemed to glide silently, like a predator stalking from the shadows. The engineers gave it an edge that radar couldn't see. Its engines, buried deep inside the fuselage with stealthy exhausts, reduced its infrared signature to almost nothing. And the flight performance, astonishing. The YF-23 could fly at Mach 2.2, and yet it needed no afterburner to cruise at supersonic speeds. It was stealthier, faster, and more futuristic than anything before it. The YF-22, on the other hand, was built with a different philosophy. Lockheed's design prioritized maneuverability, the ability to turn, roll, and strike faster than any opponent. Where the YF-23 was the invisible assassin, the YF-22 was the lethal swordsman. Its thrust vectoring nozzles allowed it to perform maneuvers no other jet could match, wild post-stall flips, sudden pitch changes, and controlled spins that made it seem alive. In the sky, it didn't hide, it danced. And that's exactly what caught the Air Force's eye. When the first flight tests began in 1990, both jets performed flawlessly. Test pilots described the YF-23 as smooth and stable, like flying on rails. The Raptor prototype, meanwhile, was more aggressive, responsive, and visceral. On radar, the YF-23 was almost impossible to detect. On the ground, its shape was pure stealth geometry. But in mock dogfights, the YF-22 consistently demonstrated tighter control and sharper response, the kind of edge a pilot would need in real combat. The Air Force watched every flight, recorded every move, and analyzed every radar return. In November 1990, the skies above Edwards AFB became the arena for what aviation historians now call the stealth duel. The YF-22 and YF-23 faced off not just in performance but in philosophy, invisibility versus agility. Both had advanced avionics, supercruise capability, and unmatched weapon integration. But budgets were tight, and only one could survive. Behind closed doors, Air Force officials debated for months. Engineers argued, pilots submitted reports, and defense contractors fought political battles in Washington. Northrop's YF-23 was technologically daring, but it was also riskier to mass produce. Lockheed's YF-22 was easier to adapt and promised greater maneuverability. In the end, the contract went to Lockheed. The Raptor was born, and the YF-23 faded quietly into the shadows of history. But here's where the legend begins. The YF-23 was not a failure, it was a vision ahead of its time. Even decades later, its shape remains one of the most advanced stealth configurations ever built. Aviation experts often call it the stealthiest plane that never flew in combat. The Black Widow II was faster, quieter, and had a lower radar cross-section than the F-22. Some insiders even say the Air Force chose the Raptor not because it was better, but because it was safer. The YF-23's radical design scared decision-makers, it was simply too advanced for the early 1990s. Imagine the Black Widow operational in the modern world. With today's materials, digital avionics, and sensor fusion, it could have become a ghost of the battlefield, unseen, unstoppable, and unmatched. The jet's diamond wings could have carried larger internal weapon bays, its stealth profile could have been optimized for multi-spectrum warfare, and its speed could have challenged even the latest hypersonic interceptors. Some analysts believe the YF-23 inspired the secretive designs of later American programs like the NGAD, the Next Generation Air Dominance Fighter. There are stories, whispered among test pilots, that one of the two YF-23 prototypes didn't retire quietly. That it continued to fly, unmarked, in black projects through the early 2000s. Officially, both were handed to museums. Unofficially, satellite footage and eyewitnesses claimed to have seen a YF-23-shaped aircraft flying out of Groom Lake, better known as Area 51. Whether true or myth, it adds to the aircraft's mystique, the ghost that never died. The competition between the YF-22 and YF-23 wasn't just about choosing a jet, it was a crossroads of engineering philosophy. The Air Force chose agility and production practicality, and that choice gave birth to the F-22 Raptor, still considered one of the greatest air superiority fighters ever built. But if the YF-23 had been chosen, air warfare might have taken a completely different path. The skies today might have been ruled by a darker, quieter, faster shadow. The YF-23's two prototypes carried nicknames, Spider and Gray Ghost. Both names now seem prophetic. Spider represented its stealth web of sensors and invisible radar signature. Gray Ghost represented its fate, a spirit that vanished from history, but never from imagination. Each prototype flew flawlessly during testing, achieving speeds over Mach 2, with minimal radar visibility. Yet despite outperforming expectations, politics, cost, and conservatism buried the project. Even Lockheed engineers later admitted that the YF-23 had stealth advantages over the Raptor. Its rear exhausts reduced radar reflection, and its blended wings offered smoother airflow. But Lockheed's design was easier to service and cheaper to adapt into future variants. The Air Force wanted something reliable, not revolutionary. And that's what they got, reliability wrapped in power. As decades passed, the YF-23 became a cult legend among aviation enthusiasts. Its futuristic silhouette appeared in games, concept art, and documentaries. The smooth black body, long tail, and deadly stance earned it the nickname, the Silent Hunter. Its influence can be seen in later aircraft like the B-2 Spirit and even experimental drones designed for stealth reconnaissance. It was not just a jet, it was a glimpse into the next century of air combat. Today, when you look at the Raptor and then at the Black Widow, you're looking at two different interpretations of the same dream, total sky dominance. The Raptor won the battle, it became the symbol of American air power. But the Black Widow won the legend. People still talk about it because it represents what might have been, the ultimate ghost in the sky. Close your eyes and imagine this. A dark silhouette streaking across a blood-red sunset, radar silent, engines whispering, wings cutting through the thin air at 60,000 feet. That's not a dream, that's the YF-23 Cobra, the king that never wore the crown. Its story is a reminder that in the world of warplanes, innovation doesn't always win, but it never truly dies. Even now, rumors suggest the spirit of the YF-23 lives on in classified programs. The NGAD fighter, rumored to fly faster, stealthier, and smarter than anything before, may carry its DNA. Some even say that the future of American air dominance owes its bloodline not just to the Raptor, but to the Black Widow, the forgotten queen of the sky. So when people ask, who's the real king of the sky, the answer is complicated. The F-22 Raptor rules the visible world, it flies, it fights, it dominates. But somewhere, in the echoes of Edwards AFB and in the dreams of every aviation engineer, the YF-23 still soars, unseen, untouched, undefeated. Two legends born from the same race, one crowned, one ghosted. Both change the way we think about air power forever. And that's the beauty of aviation history, it's not just about what flew, but about what could have flown. The YF-23 Cobra may never have entered combat, but its stealth, speed, and design genius still haunt the skies. Every stealth aircraft that takes flight today owes a silent nod to that dark, sleek predator that once challenged the world's best. You're watching Wings of War, where we bring forgotten legends back to life, where engines roar, shadows dance, and history flies again. Subscribe, because the next story might just be about the aircraft the world was never meant to see.